I think the fastest way to improve our English is to work with a native speaker who can guide us, correct mistakes, and explain the nuances that textbooks can't teach.
I agree. I've tried apps and online videos, but they don't give feedback or real interaction, so speaking naturally is still a struggle for me.
That's why we need a plan. Let's list our goals. Improving conversation skills, expanding vocabulary for work and travel, and practicing pronunciation in a way that feels comfortable.
And we should call Lucas. I found his profile online. He's experienced teaching English to learners, and he seems approachable and professional.
Great. I can call him if you want, but maybe it's better if we all introduce ourselves and explain why we want lessons.
Yes, we should be clear about our goals and expectations, like daily practice, short lessons, and working on real-life conversational skills.
Okay, I'll dial. Hello, Lucas? We're 3 friends interested in improving our English quickly, and we read about your classes.
Make sure to mention our commitment that we want to work every weekday, 2 hours per day, and practice what we learn outside class.
And emphasize that we want personalized lessons according to our goals, so he knows we're serious.
We're eager to learn, and we'd like guidance from a native speaker to accelerate our progress and focus on practical English.
Hello, that sounds great. I'd be happy to help. Before starting, I'd like to meet you in person to assess your level and prepare a plan tailored to your needs.
Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Face-to-face assessment and a customized approach.
Let's schedule a time this week. We can meet in his classroom so he can see our level and teaching resources directly.
I'll confirm with him. Thank you, Lucas. We're available anytime this week for a meeting at your classroom.
Excellent. I'll prepare a short assessment and create a plan for our lessons, focusing on conversation, vocabulary, and pronunciation.
Now that we have the meeting scheduled, I think we should prepare by listing areas we struggle with and questions we want to ask, like how can we improve pronunciation quickly? Or what's the most efficient way to expand vocabulary?
And I'll note phrases or sentences I find hard to speak fluently, like I've been working on a project, or could you explain that again?
I'll also organize our goals for Lucas, emphasizing that we want practical English for work, travel, and social interactions.
That way, Lucas can tailor the lessons to our specific needs and help us focus on high-priority areas.
It's important to show engagement and commitment that we're ready to put in the daily effort and practice outside class.
And we can prepare short self-introductions, like, my name is Emma, I recently graduated, and I'm motivated to improve my English to communicate confidently in professional and everyday situations.
Daniel, you can say, I'm Daniel, and I want to speak naturally in conversations, reduce hesitation, and expand my vocabulary for both casual and work settings.
And Maya, I'm Maya, and I aim to master English fluency, improve pronunciation, and build confidence for interviews and networking.
Practicing these introductions aloud helps us sound confident and clear when we meet Lucas.
And we can also practice polite questions. Could you give us advice on how to speak more naturally? Or, what exercises do you recommend for rapid improvement?
Preparing like this ensures that the meeting will be productive and gives Lucas a clear idea of our commitment.
I already feel more confident, knowing we're ready to engage actively and show him that we're serious.
Me too. Structured preparation sets the tone for the lessons and ensures we maximize our learning.
By practicing introductions and questions now, we're warming up for both speaking confidence and clarity, skills that will improve our overall fluency quickly.
Perfect. Tomorrow, we'll go to the classroom and meet Lucas, and this preparation will make the first assessment smooth and efficient.
Welcome! It's great to finally meet you all in person. I'd like to start by understanding your current English levels, your goals, and areas you find most challenging, so I can prepare lessons tailored specifically for you.
Thank you, Lucas. We really appreciate you taking the time to help us. My main goal is to speak confidently in professional settings and social interactions without hesitation.
And I want to be able to explain my thoughts clearly in everyday situations, as well as during interviews, while using natural sentences and vocabulary.
I want to improve fluency, pronunciation, and practical conversation skills, so I can apply English quickly in both casual and professional contexts.
5. Excellent. Let's start with a few warm-up exercises. I'll ask questions, and I'd like you to answer in full sentences naturally, without worrying about minor mistakes.
That sounds good. I'll do my best to answer naturally.
Same here. I'm ready to speak openly and practice forming complete sentences.
Great. Emma, can you tell me about a project you worked on recently and what you learned from it?
Sure. During my final university project, I coordinated a team of 4 students to analyze market trends. I learned how to communicate effectively, manage deadlines, and present our findings clearly to both peers and professors.
Very good. Notice how you structured your sentences logically, with clear connectors and examples.
I can try. In my recent internship, I created marketing content for social media platforms, which helped increase engagement. I learned to manage my time efficiently and tailor messages to the target audience.
Excellent. Maya, your turn.
During my internship, I worked on a data analysis project where I had to clean datasets, generate reports, and present insights. I learned to solve problems independently and collaborate with team members effectively.
Perfect. This shows me your sentence structures, vocabulary level, and fluency, which will help me design lessons that focus on areas to improve and consolidate strengths.
I feel more confident already just speaking aloud in this structured way.
Now that I've observed your responses, I'll prepare a short lesson plan tailored to your current level. We'll focus on improving sentence structure, vocabulary expansion, and natural conversation flow.
That sounds ideal. I'd like to practice speaking in realistic scenarios, like ordering at a restaurant, asking for directions, or discussing projects at work.
I agree. That sounds ideal. I'd like to practice speaking in realistic scenarios, like ordering at a restaurant, asking for directions, or discussing projects at work. T lessons that focus on practical English we can use immediately, instead of just grammar exercises.
Perfect. For the first lesson, we'll start with role-playing daily situations, integrating new vocabulary and expressions, and practicing pronunciation and intonation.
That's exactly what we need. Speaking naturally in context has always been the hardest part for me.
I also want to work on forming longer sentences quickly so I don't hesitate or translate in my head before speaking.
And I'd like to incorporate feedback after each exercise so I can correct mistakes and internalize proper usage.
Absolutely. Each session will include warm-up exercises, scenario-based speaking, guided correction, and short homework for practice outside the classroom.
That's great. Knowing that we'll continue practicing outside class will help us consolidate learning faster.
And having 2 hours per day during the week is perfect. Focused enough to make progress, but with weekends off to rest and reflect.
I also think that tracking our improvements daily will motivate us to stay engaged and see tangible results.
Exactly. Consistency plus targeted practice is the fastest way to improve fluency.
I feel encouraged already. Knowing that the lessons are tailored to our needs makes me more motivated to speak actively.
And role-playing realistic scenarios will make us feel confident when we face actual English interactions in daily life or professional settings.
Perfect. I'm excited to start the lessons tomorrow and practice both in class and at home for faster improvement.
Today we'll focus on speaking fluently in work and social situations, so I want you to practice full sentences with correct grammar, intonation, and natural pauses.
That sounds great. I want to feel more confident explaining my thoughts clearly and not hesitating while forming sentences.
I'm ready too. I want to be able to describe my experiences and daily routines smoothly. Like, I usually start my day by checking emails, reviewing tasks, and preparing a to-do list before meetings.
And I'll focus on professional and casual conversations, making sure I can use conditional sentences like, if I finish this report early, I will help my colleague with their tasks.
Excellent. Let's start with a scenario. Imagine you're at a cafe ordering lunch. Emma, you start.
Hello. Could I have a grilled chicken sandwich with a side of salad, please? And could you make the dressing on the side? Thank you.
I'll answer as the server. Certainly. Would you like a drink with that? Perhaps water or soda?
Yes, I'll have a glass of iced tea, please. How long will it take to prepare the meal?
Perfect. Notice how you're combining politeness, questions, and full sentences naturally. That's exactly how fluent English is structured.
I can feel the difference. Speaking complete sentences in context makes the conversation feel real and flowing.
And role-playing in the classroom allows immediate feedback, so mistakes are corrected instantly.
I also noticed that using connectors like and, but, or because helps my sentences sound longer and more natural.
Exactly. Today, we'll also practice expressing opinions. I think this cafe is perfect because the atmosphere is relaxing and the staff is friendly.
That feels like real conversation. It's different from just memorizing phrases because we have to think and respond naturally.
By practicing in a structured, immersive environment, your fluency improves quickly, and you start thinking in English instead of translating mentally.
Now that we're home, let's review today's lesson and practice the sentences we struggled with. Like, I would like to schedule a meeting next week if that works for you.
And we can practice casual conversation too. For example, what do you usually do on weekends? And do you prefer staying at home or going out?
I'll focus on conditional sentences. If I complete my tasks on time, I will reward myself by watching a movie in the evening.
Speaking slowly at first helps me internalize grammar and sentence structure before speeding up naturally.
I also notice repeating new vocabulary in different contexts helps me remember and use it naturally in conversation.
And recording ourselves while practicing is very helpful. Listening back highlights mistakes we might not notice while speaking.
I feel my confidence increasing. Even sentences I thought were difficult earlier now come out more smoothly.
And practicing together is motivating. We correct each other politely and reinforce correct usage.
Using real-life scenarios makes the practice practical, like role-playing meetings, ordering food, asking for directions, or casual social chat.
That's true. It also prepares us for professional interactions and networking, which is part of our goal for rapid improvement.
And focusing on fluency and natural sentence rhythm rather than perfection reduces anxiety and makes speaking more comfortable.
I'm also noting expressions we often use, like, could you explain that again? Or, I totally agree with you, which make conversations sound natural.
Reviewing these sentences daily will reinforce learning and accelerate fluency faster than passive study.
And practicing at home allows us to extend classroom learning, creating repetition, and building confidence for real-world use.
Perfect. If we continue this daily, 2 hours in class and practice at home, our English will improve rapidly, and we'll be ready for any professional or social situation.
Today, I want you to reflect on your progress so far. What sentences feel natural now? Which vocabulary has become easy to use? And which areas still need improvement?
I can already notice that forming full sentences has become much smoother, and I feel more confident describing my routines, experiences, and opinions without pausing constantly.
For me, I feel more comfortable asking and answering questions, even if they're unexpected, like, how would you approach a problem at work? Or, could you explain your thought process on this task?
I've noticed that my pronunciation and intonation have improved significantly, and using connectors like because, although, and however makes my sentences longer and more natural.
Excellent. Today we'll focus on applying these skills to realistic professional and social situations, using scenario-based exercises to simulate real conversations.
For example, we can practice introducing ourselves at a networking event. Hello, my name is Emma. I recently graduated, and I'm looking to improve my professional skills while gaining practical experience in Dubai.
I'll try, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm interested in marketing and content creation, and I'm eager to collaborate with teams where I can apply my creativity and learn from experienced colleagues.
And I'll add, I'm Maya, a computer science graduate, and I'm motivated to apply my analytical skills while learning from industry professionals and contributing to innovative projects.
Perfect. Notice how using full sentences with introductions, goals, and aspirations makes your speech sound confident and professional.
This exercise also helps me feel ready for interviews, networking events, and casual professional conversations.
And practicing questions and responses simulates real interaction, which builds quick thinking and reduces hesitation.
We can also practice follow-up sentences, like, could you tell me more about your company? Or, I'd love to hear your perspective on that topic, which encourages dialogue.
Exactly. Real-life conversation skills require more than grammar. They need vocabulary, sentence flow, and natural interaction patterns.
I'm feeling more confident every day. Even mistakes feel less intimidating because I know we correct them immediately and learn from them.
And combining practice with reflection reinforces learning so English becomes second nature in professional and social settings.
Excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to the nearest metro station? I'm new here and I don't want to get lost.
Thank you. And approximately how long does it take to walk there from this area?
I appreciate your help. Are there any landmarks I should look out for on the way?
Also, could you recommend a good place to grab lunch nearby? Something popular among locals would be great.
That sounds perfect. I usually enjoy trying traditional foods, and I'd like a place that has a casual, friendly atmosphere.
I've noticed practicing these conversations in real contexts really helps me remember vocabulary and sentence structure better than only doing classroom exercises.
Yes, and responding to unexpected replies forces me to think quickly and form full, natural sentences without pausing too much.
It's amazing how much faster English becomes internalized when you practice in context, rather than repeating sentences in isolation.
I also feel more confident using polite expressions, like, could you please? Or, I'd appreciate it if, which makes conversations smoother and more professional.
And even casual phrases like, that sounds great, or I totally understand, help conversations feel natural and engaging.
I can now explain my plans in detail. Tomorrow, I plan to visit the co-working space, meet my mentor, and review my job applications.
I can describe experiences too. Last week, I attended a networking event where I practiced introducing myself and asking questions to professionals.
These real-life exercises also highlight areas I need to focus on, like pronunciation or connecting sentences smoothly.
And I feel less hesitant asking questions in English because practicing in context reduces fear of mistakes.
Exactly. Daily classroom lessons plus real-world practice is accelerating our fluency much faster than I expected.
Hi, I'd like a cappuccino with skim milk, and could you make it extra hot, please? Thank you.
I'll have a flat white, please. Could you also recommend a pastry that's popular here?
I'd like a chocolate muffin and a glass of iced tea, please. How long will it take to prepare?
Thank you. Also, I'm new here. Could you tell me if there's a good place nearby for reading or working quietly?
That sounds perfect. I usually enjoy working in cafes with soft music and a relaxed environment, rather than noisy ones.
I completely agree. The atmosphere really affects focus and productivity, so choosing the right spot is important.
It's amazing how comfortable I feel speaking in English now. I don't hesitate, and I can combine questions, statements, and opinions naturally.
I feel the same. Practicing role plays, lessons, and home exercises has made real-life interactions feel effortless compared to when we started.
Even ordering food, asking for directions, or chatting casually feels smooth and confident, and I can focus on tone and expression instead of worrying about grammar mistakes.
I also feel more confident networking and introducing myself professionally. Hello, I'm Emma, a recent graduate. I'm eager to gain experience while improving my English.
I can now describe my daily activities and professional experiences clearly, like I worked on social media campaigns that increased engagement by 15%.
And I can explain technical skills concisely. I prepared data reports and visualizations to support decision-making in projects.
Practicing English daily, applying it in real contexts, and receiving guidance from Lucas accelerated our fluency much faster than I imagined.
Exactly. The combination of structured lessons, daily practice, and real-life application is what made this improvement possible.
I feel proud of our journey, from hesitant beginners to confident English speakers ready to communicate, work, and live fully in an English-speaking environment.